What is up, you guys? Welcome to another one of my videos, and it is almost 2020. I am super excited to see what this new year brings to us. Hopefully it's not going to be a BS year like this one was. Hopefully we make some really great milestones of the next year. But I can for sure say that 2020 is the year for movies. I am super excited to see what's coming out in theaters next year. But here are 30 movies that I am super excited about that are the most anticipated movies for 2020. Now, some of these movies are going to be the cinema review of that month. Some of my cinema review movies are not even on the list. For example, January. I am doing the cinema review for January over the movie called The Turning. But that is not on the list because I don't think it's that much of an anticipated movie. But instead for January, we have The Grudge remake, which I am super excited about that one. Because I love The Grudge, I love horror, I love thriller. I'm super excited about that movie, as well as the third Bad Boys movie. You guys, Will Smith is back with his boy Martin, and we got Bad Boys for Life. Now, another movie that's coming out in January that I am a little bit skeptical on because of the trailer, it just doesn't seem like it fits what it used to be. I am talking about Robert Downey Jr. playing Doolittle. Now, the movie is called Doolittle, but the originals with Eddie Murphy was called Dr. Doolittle, and he was a doctor. This is not the same type of scenario that it used to be. It looks like he's going on a trip or something. I didn't pay too much attention to the trailer just because it wasn't that much of interest to me, but it is a highly anticipated movie for January of 2020. Now, for the month of February, we have so many good movies. But starting off, we have Birds of Prey. And I'm super excited to see this movie because I'm a huge Batman fan, as well as the Joker, and I love Suicide Squad, and I just love Harley Quinn, man. She's fucking hot, you know? So I'm super excited to see Birds of Prey. Now, another movie that's coming out in February was actually supposed to come out in 2019, but because of the huge audience that was just repelled by the trailer, they pushed it back to 2020 so they could make a few adjustments. And now Sonic the Hedgehog is finally ready to be released, and people are loving it. As well as another movie featuring Vin Diesel from Fast and Furious. Though this isn't part of the Fast and Furious franchise, it is a completely separate movie called Bloodshot. And the trailer looks really good. It's about Vin Diesel, who is killed, but he gets brought back to life, and it's these people that are trying to control what he remembers, because I have a hunch that the people are doing this are the people that killed his wife and the people that he is trying to find, and they don't want him to remember that. Now, in case you did not know, I'm a huge fan of the classic movies, all the way back to the original Dracula, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Wolfman, Creature from the Black Lagoon. Now, there is another really old classic movie that I love called The Invisible Man, and they are making the remake for it this year at the end of February. Now, March isn't going to be that busy when it comes to movies releasing. Really the only big name movies that I saw that are actually anticipated is going to be A Quiet Place 2, which I am probably going to be doing the cinema review over that one because I loved the first one. But as well as Mulan. Now, I'm not that big of a fan of Disney movies. I know, not that popular of an opinion. But I am not that big of a fan of Disney movies. I'm not that big of a fan of Disney. I've always been a Nickelodeon guy. But I know for the majority of people everywhere in the world, Mulan is a highly anticipated movie, and it's probably going to reach the top of the charts when it comes to box office. Now, April is going to be the month to take your kids out to the movies because we have two movies that are going to be big for the little ones. Now, the first one coming out in April isn't so much for the kids, but it's more of for the X-Men franchise. The New Mutants is coming out in April, and I am excited to see it because I'm a huge X-Men fan. I've always been really into Wolverine and Colossus and Deadpool and just all of that type of stuff. But the two movies you should definitely take your kids out to go see, or siblings. First one is Peter Rabbit 2. I know my youngest sister is definitely into the Peter Rabbit movie, and she definitely wants to see the sequel. And actually right now she is on Netflix watching the Netflix series of Trolls. Now, I'm not sure what the rest of the title is called, but she is watching Trolls right now, the series on Netflix. And we have Trolls World Tour coming out at the end of April, so definitely go take your kids to see that. Now, May is definitely one of the best months we're going to have when it comes to movies. We are bringing back some classics from the past, as well as just continuing the franchise for others. In May, the first one that's coming to theaters is Legally Blonde 3. Those movies came out when I was just a little kid, and I barely even remember them. I kind of remember something about blondes in law authority. So it's really going to be interesting to see how they bring it back from the third one when it's been so long. Now, I also said something about continuing a franchise, and that's what we are exactly doing. We have another Saw movie coming out. The last one we got was Jigsaw, which came out a couple years ago, and I loved it. I have every single Saw movie. I love every single one of them. Jigsaw was phenomenal, and I'm super excited to see what they do with the new Saw movie that's coming out in May. Now, I've always been a kid at heart, you know. I love kid movies. Not Disney, like I said before, but I love animated, family-friendly movies as much as I love horror. So I am super excited and curious to see what they do in the new Scooby-Doo movie. It's called Scoob. Definitely go check it out, or when it does come to theaters, definitely check it out, because it is going to be a good one. I already know it. And we have another continuing the franchise movie with the new Fast and Furious 9 movie. Now, like I mentioned before, I'm not a Disney fan, but I'm a huge Nickelodeon fan, and my childhood was constantly filled with nothing but SpongeBob. And towards the end of May, we have Sponge on the Run, a new SpongeBob movie. I'm super excited to see how they do this, because I love SpongeBob. I have every single SpongeBob movie. I used to have a couple DVDs of individual seasons, but those got lost as I got older. But I have watched every single episode of SpongeBob because every single season is on Amazon Prime, so I watched all that. I love it. SpongeBob is amazing. It's very underrated. Screw you if you hate SpongeBob. It is a classic. But anyway, Sponge on the Run. Go check it out in theaters in May. Now, June is kind of like March. You know, there's not going to be a lot going on when it comes to movies. You know, we do have some two pretty high up there in the ranks movies coming out, but, you know, it's only two. We got Wonder Woman 1984 coming out at the start of June, which I know that's going to be a high movie that everyone is going to want to see. Gal Gadot is a phenomenal actress, and I love all her movies. But also coming out in June, we have another horror classic getting another movie. Now, I think it's going to be a remake, but I'm not 100% sure. We got Candyman coming back. I remember seeing it on the TV when I was little, and I was just fascinated by it. I haven't seen it since then because I haven't had the opportunity, and I never got the DVD or seen it on TV or anything. But I am a fan of Candyman from what I remember. Now, in July is another month where I still have no idea what I'm going to be doing a cinema review over. because there are so many good movies coming out in July. We have Ryan Reynolds playing in a really good action comedy called Free Guy. I've seen the previews for it. It looks hilarious. I am super excited to see it. And another classic movie coming out. They just recently, a couple years ago, did a remake for it, and now they're coming out with a sequel for the remake. We got Ghostbusters Afterlife. Now comment down below which version of the Ghostbusters theme do you like better. Do you like the original or do you like Fall Out Boy? Personally, I'm a fan of Fall Out Boy as a band, but I think I like the original Ghostbusters theme better. But another really good movie that's coming out in July is a franchise that I am a huge fan of. I even got a mask for it for Christmas. The 5th movie for The Purge is coming out in July. Now we have The Purge, we have Anarchy, we have Election Day, we have the first Purge. What are they going to do in the 5th movie? Because I am really curious and I can't wait to see it. Now I've seen the previews for this next movie as well, and it definitely looks interesting. You have The Rock playing in it, and it is a Disney movie, and I'm actually excited to see this one. This movie is called Jungle Cruise. Now, if you want to watch a trailer, it is already out. It's already playing on TV. It's playing on YouTube ads. So I definitely recommend you check out the trailer for this movie because it definitely looks interesting. August, there's only really one movie that looks anticipated, and it's the only movie I definitely want to do a cinema review for, and that's Escape Room 2. I saw the first one in theaters. It was great. I loved every actor that was playing in it. I loved the plot twist. But I think they're using the same main character as they did in the first one. So that is the reason why I'm curious to see it. Because Escape Room kind of gives me a Saw vibe in a way. You know, you have to escape or you die. That's pretty much what Saw is. But Escape Room has a different twist to it where it is sort of a game in a way. And there are actual escape rooms in reality where, of course, you don't die, but you get that sense of rush and emergency where you have to figure out the end of the puzzle. And that's kind of what this movie is like. But in this case, if you don't figure it out, you die. Now, September, I'm going to be honest, I didn't find anything worthwhile for September. You know, of course, you don't really know what's going to be coming to theaters that far along in the year. So there's definitely going to be movies that I'm going to want to see in September that just haven't been announced yet, or just they don't know when it's going to be released. So I'm still going to do a cinema review for September. I just don't know what movies are going to be released in September. I don't know what's anticipated or movies that I just want to see for the cinema review yet. So I will definitely let you guys know when it's closer to that time. So for the next 3 months, I don't really know what's going to be coming out, but there are a few questionable movies. By questionable movies, I mean it's questioned where it's actually going to be released at that time. But for October, we have a new G.I. Joe movie called G.I. Joe Ever Vigilant. I wonder if Dwayne Johnson's going to play in this one too. I really don't know, but it would definitely be interesting. I was never a huge fan of G.I. Joe movies, but I know they had a big fan base from people from the original G.I. Joe cartoon to the modern day movies that were released so long ago. Another movie in October that I am kind of excited to see, but I definitely need to catch up on the other movies in the franchise. We have a new Halloween movie. Now, I haven't even seen the newest one yet. That was released in like 2018. I haven't seen that one yet. And I need to catch up on it. I really love Halloween. I love Michael Myers. I was even Michael Myers for 1 year for Halloween. And I love those classic Halloween movies. So I'm definitely curious to see what they do in this one. Are they finally going to kill Michael? Now for November, again, don't really know if these are the movies that are going to be out that month, but we have The Eternals, which is another X-Men movie, and we also have another Fantastic Beasts movie, which, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure you will, I think Fantastic Beasts is a spin-off of Harry Potter. You have Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. You have Crimes of Grindelwald, and now you have a new one that's coming out in late November. I think it's a spin-off of Harry Potter, but don't quote me on that. I was never a big fan of Harry Potter, let alone Fantastic Beasts. So my sister would know. My oldest sister would know. Not my older, because I'm the oldest, but my oldest sister. She's a huge fan of that. So. And December, the last month of 2020, guys. So far away. In fact, it's an entire year away. But we are already curious about what movies are going to be out in December of 2020. And let me tell you, we got some pretty good movies if they are coming out at that time. We have the sequel, finally, for The Croods. I loved the movie The Croods when it came out. It was hilarious. It was a different way of looking at how civilization came to where it is now. You know, I know it's a cartoon and all, but still, it's hilarious and I really love it. So I'm curious to see what they do in the second one. But also, I've also been a huge fan of the TV series for this next movie. The TV series is a classic. You know, nobody can't love this. So I'm definitely curious to see how they do with the movie of Tom and Jerry. But that is all I have for you in this video. Comment down below some movies that you are definitely excited to see for the next year. This is just a rough draft. You know, obviously the first half of the year is pretty much set in stone for what movies are coming out for those months. But, you know, the second half of the year, it changes. You know, they might decide to make some edits to the movie. They might push the date for the release back. They might move it forward. You know, you really don't know. But I am definitely excited to see some of these movies that I have on my list. Now, for this video to come to a conclusion, it is time for an outro from our favorite android, Cynthia.
Thank you for wasting your time watching this video. I know it will make Zach feel a little bit more special since no one else will give him the attention he desires. If you somehow enjoyed this video, please click the like button, though you should make sure the dislike button works too. If you are new to the channel and have no idea what to do with your life, click that big red sexy subscribe button and bell icon so you may receive a notification for every upload on Saturdays and Sundays. Your support makes Zach feel less lonely. Keep watch for next week's content. There will be a video of Zach playing Fortnite as well as a look into his Fortnite stats and locker. If you have any questions for a possible future Q&A, requests for future content, judgments, or random comments, don't be a hairy little vagina and do something about it. You might make a difference for the better in regards to the future of this channel and its content. Don't forget to share this channel with your friends and on social media because you can bet a stocking full of elf cum, this is quality content.